So official confirmation of what we've already known, and that Sokratis has departed. As you lot can see here, Sokratis has left the club, people. It is what it is. Thank you, Papa. Working closely with Sokratis and his team, we have decided to cancel his contract by mutual consent. This gives Papa the freedom to negotiate a contract with a new club and return to action as soon as possible. So what does this tell you? For a while, we haven't been able to move him off. We haven't been able to make money on him. We haven't been able to move him. You know, there might have been offers and suggestions, but none of the interest has materialized. And at 32 years of age, not that it's an ageist thing, 32 years of age, a man that can be described as Deadwood, a man that isn't a bad defender, but isn't a great one either. Doesn't, when it comes to ball playing, he's the least ball playing ability centre half we have. You know, you've seen Sokratis be utilized by Arteta, but he's not his guy. He's not his guy. It hasn't worked. So now we've said, you know what, similar to paying up Mesut Ozil's contract, we'll pay up yours, sort of thing. Because it did appear like Ozil, these lot would have been happy to sit there until the end of the season, collect their cash, and then keep it moving. We've said, you know what, we'll pay up your contract. Ozil's contract was worth 7 million. I'm not sure how much Sokratis is worth, but it's bound to have been a couple. So it's probably 9 million now. And we're, you know, considering we bought him for 18 million, we've probably paid him whatever to terminate his contract, because he's not going to do that for free. You know, it's proven costly, sort of thing. And, you know, he's acted with integrity. He helped us. You know, he was part of a squad that got to the Europa League final, as it says. He leaves winning an FA Cup. You know, he can leave with his head held high. He made 69 appearances for us. Leave with your head held high. It is what it is in that regards, people. Edu himself has said, on behalf of Mikel, our coaches, players, and everyone at the club, I'd like to thank Papa for his contribution to the club. He has been a very important part of our group and has been a model professional throughout. The negotiations to end his contract have been collaborative, and we wish Papa and his family well for the future. So we've got him off the wage books firmly. That means we can now have more room to maneuver. It further does that part to somewhat sorting out what we're doing in relation to our centre halves, because in an ideal world, you know, Sokratis, David Luiz, Mustafi, they're all gone. You know, I like Chambers, but Chambers is almost a forgotten man. He might be someone that's moved on. And then we progress with Marie, Gabriel, Saliba, Rob Holding, and I do believe the club should and would bring in another centre half, people. So that's what we're seeing. In relation to Sokratis, I don't think he was a bad player, but I don't think he was necessarily a good one. The only feeling I personally get with Sokratis, people, is you get what you pay for. And I see 18 million as mismanagement. You know, you got 69 appearances for him. There were some games he played very well. He had some good moments and some good form, but generally you're scratching your head if you was to think of standout performances where he's bossed it. So again, it goes to what I was saying earlier about it's not just the big money signings, the 72s, the 40s, the 52s, the 35s. That's not the only mismanagement of wages. It's sometimes, you know, the free transfers we've received. How, you know, mismanagement among, you know, bringing in players on loan, and also cut price deals, because 18 million for us shouldn't be cut price, but I define that as cut price. Would you not? I would say that's cut price. You know, Runnison cut price, very expensive. And I think when you look at those 2018, I don't know if the club are genuinely looking at practices, because when you look at those 2018 signings, it ain't worked out for too many of them. Guendouzi, it's not been because of ability, it's been because of how he's carrying on. You know, we did hear there was problems around his attitude. Now, I don't like them preconceptions, but in hindsight, did we do our due diligence? You know, Torreira, for whatever reason, it didn't work out here. It didn't work out at Atletico. You know, is his abilities there? Is his mentality there? You know, can we learn from this? Sokratis, you know, you get what you pay for. We tried to get a cheap, competent option. Ultimately, we got what we paid for. Is there something to learn from this? Because we've done the cheapskate thing with David Luiz and obviously Sokratis, and they've had good moments and lesser moments. A bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I think Sokratis and Ozil partly marginalized was over that wage cut stuff, maybe Kolasinac as well, on top of all three just needing to go from a footballing perspective. So I won't say congratulations, but, you know, our short-term relationship between us two, go and do your thing, Sokratis. At the end of the day, you're only 32, so you've still got a lot of time. And if you go to Italy, 32 is the new 22 sort of thing. You know, Leno worked out. You're fully right in that. Leno worked out. Leno's been a good signing, but, you know, that's one out of the how many. Thanks for correcting me. But I'm just saying, look at them signings, people. It's a bit booky when you look at it, really. You know, I'm just saying, can we learn from our practices? In the same way, we've loaned out, man, to clubs, and we've got a loan manager. Not too many of our loans work out. loan for young players. Not too many. You get some that are banging it. You know, Matt Smith is doing his thing. Not too many work out. They go through good and bad moments. So are we looking at what we're doing right and wrong? You know, Eddie Nketiah's loan didn't work out at Leeds. Are we going back and saying, yo, all right, cool, it didn't work out. What did we do wrong? What can we do better? And if we look at it again, it's just the same period. It must be. In terms of incomings, nah, man. Was this the same season? But we bought my man in January. I don't think Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang count. I'll count. Nah, this ain't it, man. I'm sure this ain't it. I'm sure that ain't it. I'm trying to find our sign. Let me go to the tried and trusted transfer mark. I'm trying to find our signing. Bro, Leno's proved me wrong as well. Leno's proved me very wrong. I'm not 100% convinced in Leno, but he's my keeper. You know, I don't think there's a need to force him out. The only way I'm looking at a different sort of first choice keeper is if the whole squad is in the way we want it to be. Do you get it? Like I'm sure, you know, we all know midfield, fullbacks, all of these things. If it was all in the way we wanted it to be, I'd be looking at a keeper. But even then, if we had the squad we believe we need to have to get top 4, I think Leno would be cool. It's just for me, you know, I'd look at Leno. But Leno's proved me wrong. Leno's done what he's needed to do. I got nothing wrong with being proven wrong. I like Leno. I said Leno is the only one I can really appreciate in this squad. You know, if it's not Leno, to a degree, Aubameyang to a degree, based off past credit, more so Martinelli, Gabriel, Saka, Tierney, Partey. They're the only players off the top of my head I have, if I haven't said Tierney as well, expectations. I don't have expectations on other men. You know, some men are going to go through good form. They might surprise me with playing well. I don't really believe in much of them people. So 2018, 17, 18 season, let's go. I think this is when Sokratis came to the club. I could be wrong, people. So again, some of these were obviously bought in January, I believe. But yeah, rivals. Where's Sokratis? Can't have been it because Sokratis ain't here. I can't see his name. But what year did Sokratis join this club, bro? It must have been this year. It must have been this season. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, looking at that, obviously these men were all on loan and that they're all irrelevant. This is what you get when you do the cheapskate thing. It didn't bang. Out of all them signings, only one signing banged. I love Torreira. I want Torreira to come back, but I haven't got time for the yatty thing. You know, if you pull your pants up and start moving 30 or leave because it's not working out at Atletico. For me, even more so, we can say Arsenal was a bit political. Atletico, everything is set up for Torreira to have the best time. He fits their team play. You got a manager, better South American man. We heard talk about not settling off the field. You got it to all settle off. So why hasn't it happened for you? Why are you talking about Valencia and Edu saying these? You need to ask yourself what you're not doing. You're this. What, he's 22. He can't be 22. I'm sure Torreira's the same age as me. He needs to fix up. Like, you need to fix up. Pull your pants up. Start moving 30. 24 years of age. So what? A year younger than me, people. Pull your pants up. I love Torreira, but he's on a yatty thing. Simple as that. You know, only one. So like I said, Torreira, could we have done due diligence, not on his ability, on his mentality and how he would fare in other countries? You know, it ain't worked out in Spain, ain't worked out in England. If he goes back to Italy, maybe it does. If it doesn't, question marks. Leno's worked out, but even Leno has his question marks, but we're going to allow Leno. Sokratis, ultimately, you didn't get £18 million worth. Guendouzi, similar to Torreira, it's not due to ability, it's how he's been carrying on. So again, we heard that with Lorient. You know, could we have tamed that better, or could we have taken a pass on him? We still stand to make a decent profit on him. We bought him for pennies. You know, he'd at least get 15, 20 million, which I think is too cheap. You bought Denis Suarez on loan, didn't bang. Again, you know, Denis Suarez, Ceballos twice. When you add up all these loan fees, it's not banging. You know, Lichtsteiner, again, you tried to bring him in as a calm option. It didn't bang. Like, it didn't bang. And sometimes when you buy cheap, you're buying twice. Bro, we did this in 2018. We're still talking about a centre-half, people. You see how mad it is? Let's go and look at the next season, because I don't even, you know, I can't even remember who actually signs people. I can't even lie. You know, you've then brought in three centre halves. Now, fair play. Gabriel's been in, Martin Marie's been injured, but he's played all right. Similar to Sokratis, you get what you pay for with David Luiz. He goes through some good moments. For me, he's playing very well, but there'll be moments where he lets you down. Saliba's a young G, but again, generally, there's four centre halves in the last two windows at the time I've shown you, and it's still not any confirmation. And again, we all know certain men haven't worked out here. Shout out to Tierney, shout out to Martinelli. Some men have just not worked out. The less said, the better. So you get what you pay for, people. You firmly get what you pay for. Like, it's as simple as that. Last season, who did we even bring in? I just don't even know at this moment. I can't remember. You get, to be a fair, decent window. Only when you consider these two, really. Now, these lot were all on loan and them things, they don't really count. Cedric, you did your thing in your game, but again, 29 years of age, you should be locking down that fullback role. I've seen you play poorly for Arsenal. I've seen you play well. Let's be real. We don't know what we're getting from Cedric. Hopefully, we can see something in that regards. If we're real with ourselves, people, we've got too many players that are on a moments thing. You know, all three fullbacks are moments players. You know, Maitland-Niles goes through good bits of form, then he's out of the team for whatever reason. Bellerin goes through moments, but then in the last couple of games, he's been playing very well. Suarez played very well in his last game, deserves to keep his spot, but let's be real. We've also seen him play poorly. I'm seeing 3 men fighting for one spot. I wanted to see someone defeat the other two. If not, for all I care, all of them can go, and we bring in a right back who we don't have. I want to see on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, sorry, what I'm seeing on the left. I'm not talking about left back. If Tierney's fit, I'm not talking about left back. He's doing his job. It's as simple as that. You know, it's a bit like when we had Sagna. You don't need to talk about right back. He's doing his job. I actually remember back in the days, Partey could play right back. So it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal start flirting with that. Runnison, same age as me, looks like a year 7, behaves like a year 7, just not good enough. Less said on William, the better. You get what you pay for. Bare hot and cold, man. Bare hot and cold player. Shout out to Mkhitaryan because he found a good little job for himself out there in Italy. He's doing his thing at Roma.